Back here on First Things First, we're going viral. This is one of the best commercials from last night. Odell Beckham Jr. and Eli Manning reenacting a famous scene from Dirty Dancing. Now, Cece, you saw Odell in Minnesota. Did he say anything about this?
Why are you talking like that?
Because the music lends me to...
Yes, Jenna. He trusted me. I saw this preview before the Super Bowl. He also told me he's in the best mental state that he's ever been in, Jenna.
Sweet.
So excited for the new coach and ready to come back to the Giants and give the Giants what they've been missing.
This is an amazing commercial. I can't keep in character with you guys. You guys are thespians. I am not. I don't remember what product it's advertising, but they're advertising the NFL product. It's just for the NFL at large, I guess. Look at that. Oh yeah, and it's the cover of the New York Post today with the little and by the way,
Giants had to win something. Certainly wasn't a game.
That's dope. And Cece, when they filmed it, his leg wasn't all the way healthy, so you can see his gait's a little different.
Yeah, I can see this. Yeah, it's all the way healed, but he's feeling good. He's been released. He's working out very strong. Also, he's met with the Pat Shermer, and I saw both of them talking. There's an instant connection. He's not going about it the Ben McAdoo way.
I'm just curious. You guys know which movie this is from, right?
Well, you said Dirty Dancing. I've never seen Dirty Dancing. I do believe Patrick Swayze was in it. Rest in peace, Mr. Swayze.
I'm with you.
I'm not, but I've never seen the movie.
That's why I was able to.
I actually reenacted I reenacted this scene in the outfits and everything from the actual Dirty Dancing movie from the last job I was at. You can Google my name with Dirty Dancing. We did the exact thing Odell did. It is hard. What they just did here on land, that is really hard.
I think we have a going viral for tomorrow.
Okay.
It's Jenna Wolfe juxtaposed next to this. We can see who does better. And by the way, good for Odell. Odell knows some players might poke a little fun at him for this thing. He doesn't care. Odell's leaning into it, and I respect the hell out of him for it.
Time for some stories. No pun intended. To start your morning, before the Super Bowl honors, there were NFL honors, and those belong to the LA Rams this year. Todd Gurley named Offensive Player of the Year. Aaron Donald named Defensive Player of the Year. And rookie head coach Sean McVay was named Coach of the Year. Nick, what do you think? Good to be a Ram fan today?
Absolutely. Future looks bright. And I want to shout out Aaron Donald specifically. It is rare to see a player his size, under 300 pounds, under 6'1",
short arms,
or 32-inch arms. For context, Chris Canty, 38-inch arms. I asked him, like short arms, undersized, dominant D tackle. One of the better small D tackles we've ever seen. I feel like John Randall.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Good comparison.
John Randall probably a better pass rusher than Aaron Donald, but still, like, unbelievable player all around for these guys.
A proven young offensive mastermind. If you want to start a franchise, you want to start with a young coach who can get your quarterback to that elite level. Todd Gurley, Jared Goff. Both of them resurrecting their career. Things are looking up in Los Angeles. Man, their stadium's coming, I think, in 2 years. Oh, my goodness, exciting.
Two Saints players won the rookie awards. Alvin Kamara won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Cornerback Marshawn Lattimore won Defensive Rookie of the Year. Nick, how bright do you think the Saints' future is?
And very bright. And these two guys changed the course of this franchise. If this season goes poorly, we were talking about, could it be the last season for Drew Brees, last season for Sean Payton? One of the major reasons that this season went so well for New Orleans was because of these two rookies. And Alvin Kamara, man, the Carolina Panthers, one of the teams I like to watch a lot, they thought they were getting that type of player with the 8th overall pick. The Saints got him in the 3rd round. He beats out Kareem Hunt for Rookie of the Year. Both of these well-deserved.
What is that, Coach Mangini, the phrase that he talks about?
Force multiplier.
Force multiplier. Look what Alvin Kamara did for Ingram. Look what he did for Drew Brees. On the defensive side of things, Marshawn Lattimore, look what he did for that defense. Look what he did for that front four, all right? Force multipliers there in rookies.
And by the way, shout out to the Saints for realizing they made a mistake with Adrian Peterson, cutting bait early and giving Alvin Kamara more touches after that.
And finally, the 2018 Hall of Fame class was announced on Saturday. Randy Moss became the first wide receiver to become a first ballot Hall of Famer since Jerry Rice.
I broke that news.
Here's Moss the moment he found out he was being enshrined in Canton.
Room service. Welcome, Thank you, Mr. Baker. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Thank you, man. Love you, Randy. Yes, sir. On behalf of, come on, baby. Come on here, guys. You guys can come up here. Come on up here. How you doing? Good to see you. Mr. Baker. Good to see you. I'm president of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Oh, man. Hey, on behalf of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, on behalf of your fellow Hall of Famers, on behalf of all of us who love the game, it's my privilege to welcome you to Canton, Ohio, which will be your new home for the rest of time. And Randy, I want to thank you for all you've done for the game, for all you're going to do for the game. Okay, Randy, and I want to thank you so much because this is going to be the beginning of your journey, not the end of your football career. We're going to put a gold jacket on you. We're going to give you a bronze bust. We're going to give you a ring of excellence. Okay, and the things you're going to do with that are incredible. You're going to change people's lives just like this is going to change your life. Thank you, Mr. Baker.
But real quick, before we go to Chris, I just want people to realize Randy Moss is 6'5". The guy talking to him, Dave Baker, was 7'8",
man, he's big
450
dude.
pounds.
Yeah, he's big dude.
Yeah, he is.
I mean,
But
that guy's
his
got to be
neck
close
is the
to
size
6.
of my waist.
Honestly, that guy's got to be close to 6 feet 10 inches tall. I mean, he was towering over Randy. Sorry, it's just I couldn't believe
no,
it.
And not a former football player, former basketball player.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right. Well, that makes sense then. Go ahead, Jen.
Bold on the side.
Yeah.
What's the emotional sort of roller coaster like? You go from Friday and you're there with everything to Saturday, then you get knock on the door. I mean, you know Randy Moss. He's not that much of an emotional guy. You said he's not a crier. So how much did this really hit him and affect him to see him react like that?
And it's an amazing moment. Everyone's always overwhelmed. Even as a first ballot, I was in Ray's room, spent a lot of time. We were on the same floor, so we're in the same hotel. Moss was on the 14th floor, so I knew the knock was coming. And there's nothing you can prepare yourself for. And it will break you down because it's just to think now in the class that he's in, as far as not only players, but just your position. You know, now in the same breath, Steve Largent, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss. If you look at the last 30 years, those are the only first ballot Hall of Famers.
As wide receivers.
Yeah, so that's just overwhelming. And Randy, his journey, he got kicked out of high school, you know, for getting into a fight. Got kicked out of a couple colleges. People gave up on him. He had to go to Marshall. Played not top-level football, but beneath that. 20 people skipped over him in the draft. He was the #1 player. Should have won the Heisman Trophy. He was the #1 player on the draft board. He fell all the way to 21 in Minnesota. And to culminate with now, man, you're going to Canton, first try? Oh, man, that's a tremendous accomplishment. Not only physically, but I saw the man change. A kid called me on draft day. That was Randy Moss. This was a grown man being awarded with the highest honor that you can have as an NFL player.
It's unbelievable, and I want to give the Hall of Fame credit. Because if this morning, and we were trying to prepare you for it, for people that watched last week, I'm going to pull the curtain back a little bit. One of the reasons we talked so much about the Hall of Fame at the end of last week was there was reason to believe Randy might not get in first try.
I didn't think he would get in.
Right.
Not because he didn't deserve it.
Why?
But because they didn't let T.O. in. And T.O. was in year 3. I thought T.O. definitely should go in. I didn't think he should go in over Randy, but I thought he should have been in. But typically they don't like to put 2 positional players in at the same time.
We thought there was good reason to believe, however outrageous, that Randy wasn't going to get in. So we were kind of trying to prepare the audience for it. And so if they hadn't let him in this morning, I would be killing those group of electors. So I want to give them credit. You cannot find a flaw with this class. Ray, no doubter. Randy, no doubter. T.O., it took him 3 years, but he should have been a no doubter. Brian Urlacher, very well deserving first ballot. And Brian Dawkins, Cece mentioned, an interception in 15 straight seasons. Sounds make-believe. Like there were other guys. Steve Hutchinson has an argument. Edgerrin James has an argument. There are other good arguments, but There's no gripe with those 5 guys. And I'm so happy for Randy because even though I don't know him, he is a guy that I idolized growing up. You guys know me. I'm a talent guy. Give me big, strong, fast, amazing, superhero type stuff. That's what Randy was. And hearing the stories you've told me about his maturation, it's just amazing.
The thing that Randy, forget about all the stuff that you saw. NFL Films has captured that. But Randy, I've taught a lot of wide receivers. I'm talking about thousands of them. None more talented than Randy Moss. Randy, for me, I design stuff in my mind. I'm very, very creative as far as my route running. Randy could do things that I couldn't do, but I could think about. And I used to try them out on him, and he could do them. Now, I'm talking about going to Pro Bowls with Jerry, with Michael, and all the other great receivers, Tim Brown, all of them that played in my era. We used to experiment and try stuff. No one can do what Randy Moss did. No one could do the things. No one at 6'4" had the short area quickness. No one at 6'4" could run sub 4.3. Say, how fast is Randy Moss? 2 steps faster than everyone but Deion Sanders and Darrell Green. That's how fast Randy Moss is with that type of frame. And you're talking about if you grading his hands on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 plus. A big man, very, very graceful, very quick and fast, and with great hands. I mean, his ability to track a ball, I believe, is the best in NFL history. I'm talking about a deep ball down the field, like Willie Mays in center field. No one can do it better. Randy Moss can run faster than you can throw a football.
Awesome.
And the other thing that I want to say about Randy, and I'm not trying to shortchange the other guys. Ray's here a lot, and we've talked to Ray about it, and Ray was a foregone conclusion. And so he's the other guy that was on that caliber that made the Hall. I'm not trying to shortchange Ray at all, but we knew Ray was going to get in. So this is a special moment for Randy. One of the things I always respect about Randy, and it didn't always serve him the best, but Randy seemed like he has done an amazing job being from Rand, West Virginia, to this day, staying pretty true to himself. Now, sometimes that turns into straight cash, homie, and a line that, you know, sometimes that turns into I play when I want to play, which Chris will tell you has been misconstrued by people. But Randy hasn't seemed to, even though he's become more refined and more mature, he has not let the core of who he is change or ossify through the time. And it's just, this for me is one of my childhood, and I know it's embarrassing to say because Chris was his teammate and his brother, but this is one of my childhood sports heroes, was Randy. Like, I mentioned it last week, I didn't get to see Bo Jackson. I didn't get to see athletes like this on the football field, and so I'm so happy for him.
CeCe, so now that the Hall let in T.O. and they let in Randy Moss as a first ballot Hall of Famer, do we see them moving forward with, well, we're not going to factor in any off-the-field distractions or anything other than what happens in football? Do you see maybe they're moving more in that direction?
No, I think that they have set a standard as far as the Hall. The locker room is an extension of the playing field. They have determined that. They set a precedent for that. I think the way the numbers are, the numbers have been moved up, that the standard now, to me, is even higher. I mean, if you look at guys playing the game now, I mean, in the next couple of years, we're going to have a guy like Calvin Johnson up for the Hall of Fame.
That's a tough one.
If Larry Fitzgerald, you know, he hasn't told me if he's decided to come back yet, you know, for this season. If not, in 6 years, he'll be ready to go into the Hall. I know he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a world-class human being. So, no, the standard has gotten tougher. You know, they are not going to lower the standard. So, if you're out there and you're catching passes, if you don't have 1,000 of them, there ain't no need to think about being in the Hall of Fame, not unless you Calvin Johnson and you decide to have a shorter career than the other great wide receivers.
All right, we're going to take a break. Coming up, how did the Eagles catch the Patriots off guard? One last segment. It's going to be a good one.
Great, let's
next
go
another amazing Super Bowl.
Man, let's play 2.
CeCe on no sleep, fresh off the plane.